This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
The views and opinions expressed by the host do not necessarily state or reflect those of DP24 Media and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not necessarily reflect those of the host, the show, the management, and DP24 Media. Hey, good morning, everyone. And if you're wondering why I'm here, of course, this is your Durable speaking, and it's our founder, myself, having a 27th birthday today. And of course, Coach V's been greeting in advance. And of course, followed by partner, Brother Katokayo, and Coach JC as well. And also my family. And of course, we might consider going to a lively mode ever since that. Oh, we have another one from Brother Colas here. Happy birthday, dear Paul. From KB Music. And of course, this is the Sweethearts Corner special coverage morning edition. And of course, it's the first year also of our rebranded calling that everyone has been called as sweethearts, whether you're single or in a relationship or married. But don't get me wrong, because you know what? Love and harmony is needed to be promoted. And of course, what we have done as early as possible before it reaches this big day. Yes, of course, the several upgrades that were happening behind the scenes. And guess what? We, aside from the fact that our DP24 General TV YouTube channel reaches 5,000 subscribers, of course, we have upgraded already into a 2K or 2160p on its live broadcast. Technically, it's an upscaled version of our regular full HD 1080. And by the way, we are looking for more options to upgrade it further into an ultimate one, because aside from the fact that, you know what, let me show this to you, some sort of a boxes here, but it was supposedly loaded already with this stuff. Plus, I have been into a review or board's review for the civil engineering board examination that everyone is wondering about. Everyone is calling me an engineer despite or sans the PRC license. Of course, I don't like to call myself an engineer without that license. Of course, before we let you go into this special coverage, let's check this in the traffic and weather updates first, especially for those commuters right there. And according to the traffic center, that's coming from the Waze, the largest traffic navigation app. While we are loading this thing, let me remind everyone that we have to be more extra careful when driving, especially if you're going to your workplace. We have to avoid such forms of behavioral issues like the road rage that is very frightening and scary, particularly those to our fellow cyclists. Sorry about your negative experiences, but let's switch it in into the ways. And now we are here at this wonderful celebration of the 27th year that we have been going through in Founder's Life, which is technically yours truly. I myself have founded this company, DP24 Media, all the way from the pandemic years that I have been conceptualized and which programs that are approved for airing, and hence we have DP24 General TV channel all over YouTube. And by the way, with the given support from our fans and followers, also known as sweethearts, most especially to our feasters, sweethearts right there, that we have filled the Wednesday time slot, which is the Wednesday Bible study block featuring Fis Dasmariñas Bible Study Community. So with that Thursday, which is yesterday, Father Michael Laguardia's Biblia Conia in honor of their legacy that was left behind with the spiritual formator, Father Michael Laguardia, SDB. Speaking of this, I could not imagine myself getting stuck into this pandemic way back 2020, wherein there are so many things that were happened, so many things that were we are used to meet face to face have almost gone completely due to the strict restrictions that were imposed just for the sake of protecting the entire health against the deterioration caused by the disease outbreak. And special thanks to our fans and followers, particularly our sweethearts, right here from the Feast Visuals and Tech, our Mappy friends from the Open Straight Up Philippines, and also from AWJPSOS Life Group. Of course, we have formed this chapter that the pandemic related lessons and inspirations that we have gone through. And by the way, we have been going through rundown of the academic situation. And that being said, is that we are forced to go through online classes. We have thought that we could not ever see each other again. But one thing's for sure is that upon the news of the partial face-to-face interactions, especially with the examination, with the adherence to the strictest protocols. Of course, here's the disclaimer. Yours truly is fully vaccinated and boosted. We are waiting for the bivalent vaccine, particularly yours truly has a brother, who's also a nursing student, an incoming nurse also. Of course, aside from the nurse, there are doctors and hospital staff working together to combat this dreaded disease. And of course, we salute everyone who has been a part in fighting such dreaded disease. So, with the arrival of the vaccine and upon the learning of the demise of Father Michael Aguaja due to COVID-related complications, yours truly has to make a vow not to get infected and be vaccinated as soon as possible. Of course, this is straight to the point. We have set already the policy to get vaccinated as soon as possible. And even though the family have disagreed, but they have no choice but to take an action upon learning that the mode will be to drive through vaccination, which is in Parañaque City. Shortly after, there are some events that we have been going through towards the graduation, and of course, what we have learned so far is that upon the experience, we have to prioritize our own health as well, particularly not only in physical, mental, emotional, but also our spiritual health as well. And that's why, if I've noticed, every Saturday, the anticipated Holy Mass stir at the Fiestas Mainias and will be stayed at this post-pandemic. And likewise, if I'm going to read the chapter that I'm working with, which is the draft version of the story of Dear Paul, it gone it have gone into a rough road. Since the internship that I've gone through the university processes during the pandemic, of course, it got transformed into a feasibility study. And a support group in which we have been going through. And by all means, start in this post pandemic, the resumption, the recovery, and the reintegration have come along with the online, where in fact, due to lost face to face interactions, like in our case, that we have used to online only mode of communication. But without further ado, the anniversary of the Feast das Marinas have gone face to face, head on. And of course, everyone's been checking in except for partner brother Caturayo because he got infected sadly at that time of the 10th anniversary celebration. And our friends from Feast Imus, which is also helping us to be trained also with the basics of this live broadcast that we have been done already. And eventually, it got materialized. And as the sunrise has been going through this day, we all hope that those disease outbreaks will be prevented if all of these science based approaches on mitigation would be followed. And then this Feast Conference 2022 greater than have switched into the hybrid mode. And I have selected the face-to-face regular ticket or access to the venue. But little did I know that there are some friends that I have been, or should we say, our fellow sweethearts, have surprised me unexpectedly. And for one instance, we have got into a hot seat wherein they ask if yesterday have managed the public channel, which is this station. And I and we have no choice but to say yes. And that's why everyone is wondering what is this call sign DP24 meant. Of course, to set it safe that DP stands for Dirble and the 24 is the 24/7 broadcast, or the 24/7 real-time updates that we have used to. Formerly, it's just a number for the founder's birthday 3 years ago. And giving our set attendance by yours truly into this modern dating class. This is where the post-pandemic journey have begun, albeit in a secret manner that not even my family knows. Of course, we have to skip some portions due to some sort of the confidentiality agreement that is in effect. It's for you and only you to find out in person. Of course, I have to borrow this quote from Brother Maffy Legaspi. Offer the mufflin on me with Maffy and Kailin. And of course, these things have happened wherein while in the middle of the board examination review wherein we got failed several times. One is the soft courtship or panliligaw 101, and the second one is the strict universities pre-board examination prior to TOR for board exam requirement. This is where our mindset has to change. We have to get stronger on our review, particularly we are taking an extra step. And of course, to our best knowledge, the requirements have been passed for this November board examination, but unfortunately, the certification of good moral character got lapsed. And of course, this is where the unexpected things began. As much as we have wanted to create a safe space, not only for us, but for everyone as well, of course, there are several occasions where the breach of code of conduct have been occurred, not only on this institution, but also on the individual founder as well. And what? And guess what? We have issued a stern warning against all forms of profanity or a foul or vulgar language, which is strictly prohibited in our institution and also to this station. That's why we are taking extra steps to protect everyone against such unwarranted profanities that might get leaked without us screening. And therefore, upon our stern warning, she have left to the gate right away in order not to press any charges that might even resorting to report to the police. And of course, this is where that journey have begun. we have been switched into a part-time jobs that or work that we have to undertake. One is for the safety and security, especially that we are on standby for the safety officer status. Second is for the SOCMED or the media life, as we say. And guess what? These have led to the discovery by one of the company. And of course, we got hired. And as such, our back end, particularly on the navigation, have been introduced as a way of supporting all of the work that requires immediate response queries. And of course, there was a scenario wherein we have to do some sort of a surprise inspection, but she wasn't brief. With regards to the surprise inspection or a sudden reporting for duty. And of course, this would be much helpful for everyone, particularly with regards to checking on the validated guest list and the venue safety. Yes, of course, we have to avoid such outdoor venues that would compromise the safety and security, not only on the participants, but also for everybody else. And that's why it is our mission is to deliver all of the needed safety and security tips, not only in this broadcast, but also in real life situations that we might face unexpectedly. And in one occasion, while in the refuse center here in the same city we are right now, which is Tasmania City, while the while discussions ongoing, there are some sort of door related issues that we have lately encountered. And to our surprise, the wife of Surf F got trapped inside. These have caused a brief suspension, and we have to respond right away in order to unjam and free those trapped occupants inside. But however, there's an operating air conditioning unit which is embedded on the wooden wall in which it is deemed unstable. So we have to be more very careful on unlocking the door. Then the procedure have begun to unlock the door, and by all means the doorknob has been considered totaled, and the occupants inside have freed. Therefore, we have to be more prudent in setting these things up, and likewise, there is a need for us to, check everything first before the usage has to be used, whether it is safe or not. And guess what? Upon our realization that all of these things, particularly with the rehabilitation of this unit that we are using, have gone into a wild story once again, that we have been enduring such fun related damages. And by all means, that we have successfully repaired the fan system, and we have upgraded the memory into a 40 plus gigabyte. This is a long, horrendous upgrading that we have to endure, costing some sort of thousands, if not for the support of our fellow sweethearts, that we are actually been getting started to start up such a company that is DP24, media, and the only channel is this DP24 General TV that were currently aired exclusively on YouTube. And we are working to restore as well the simulcast to Twitch. And besides, we have to be more very careful in what we have to do, particularly for the next birthdays to come for founder ourselves. We have to take care of our health as well. And likewise, given the cases of earthquakes that are reported already, we have to think and reflect on what we could do to prevent such catastrophes that are tasked to us, future engineers. And of course, architects and engineers should go in hand in building those safe and sound buildings, infrastructures that would be deemed not only for the aesthetics but also for the safety and the overall reputation of the place. And one more thing for sure is this. Our current mission is to pass the board examination and likewise we have to undergo some sort of a planning and implementation of the project that would later be called upon the afternoon edition of this special coverage. And speaking of the birthday greetings, we have received already some birthday greetings right all over our public Facebook profile. And likewise, we have our fellow sweethearts right here. Let me sort these things out. Tita Susan here, Tita Anna, Tita Tina, Mom Love, Sis Ching or Tita Ching, Ninang Trisha, Tita Irene, Tita Day, and also Tita Joanne, Coach Dance, Tita Madel, Brother Patrick, Tita Norma, Sis Pam, Sis Casey, Sis Lynn, Tita Lourdes, and Tita Febs, Tita Lori, and also Angelica, Brother Kodas, Brother Katokayo, and also Coach V have given us a happy birthday. And then, of course, we will be having a follow-up greetings later on the afternoon edition and the evening edition as well of the Sweethearts Corner special coverage. And by all means, that Sweethearts Corner has been first aired last February with the first 5 episodes featuring Sis Aja and Brother Engineer JM. And of course, we are so very grateful to have these guys come in to share their courtship and relationship story, particularly on what they have got into such a crazy love story that is available both on our Spotify and YouTube, both in the video on demand or podcast. So without further ado, let's continue with this journey for us to be into a civil engineering. We will be having a final announcement at the evening edition or the afternoon edition, which comes first, depending on the schedule availability. So without further ado, we are glad to report to you that we have reached a 5,000 views here on YouTube. And by all means, is that we are very grateful that you have came across our channel. And if you're interested, just click or tap on the subscribe, then the notification bell so that you can have the latest stories that would be aired not only on real time but also on our programming. And likewise, we are also on standby for some announcements, particularly for the feast conference that most of us feasters are excited about. It is now available through feastconference.com to buy your tickets for the venue, or if you prefer, an online, particularly in places where it is impossible to reach. Yes, of course, we are glad to see you once again, our fellow feasters and sweethearts. Kapuso, kapatid, kapanalig. So, without further ado, we are on we are on the verge to the busy reviews. And as such, we have to decrease our workload in order to give way for the review. That's it, guys, sweethearts. Thank you so very much for this wonderful morning portion of the Sweethearts Corner special coverage that you're tuning in. And one more thing's for sure is that our morning devotional prayer is summoned to surrender place will still be aired here on this channel, DP24 General TV, ever since that Feast Bay Area have left last June. And also the nightly devotional prayer as well. Come to your surrender place just in case this station needs to shut off for some sort of unexpected face to face interactions, or sometimes the maintenance breaks. And likewise, the sun will rise once again after the storm that we have endured. And likewise, Cavite Laguna Expressway is on the verge of its completion. Hopefully, sooner or later, these expressways will be ready for operational either this September or the fourth quarter of the 2023. But one more thing's for sure is that we have to practice on what we have been learned regarding the safety or the construction safety, that no construction work should ever be done without the assigned safety officer on the site.
And that concludes this morning edition of the Sweethearts Corner. Kindly tune in to the afternoon edition, afternoon or evening edition, depending on the time slot availability, so that we could mention all of your names here. And for those who are commuting right now, we have to be more extra careful, a lot more time for such congestion that are factoring in. Have a wonderful Friday morning to all of us, our fellow sweethearts. See you at the afternoon or evening edition of the Sweethearts Corner special coverage. Be safe, be well, stay sane, stay dry, and you are loved.